Hello everyone, this is Jack, and I'm doing a follow-up video on the Wallen that I showed you guys earlier. There's a couple of questions about it that I want to address. It is a little bit tricky, and I think my intent was a little bit misunderstood. So let's start with that. I made the video because I thought it was a cool thing that you guys might want to know about and maybe could incorporate into your play, but not necessarily. I'm not here to make a case for, well, in PvZ, this is the wall you want to go for in these X situations. It was more of a, hey, this is kind of cool, maybe you'll find some use for it, maybe not, but it's a thing. Alright, I was just sort of asserting that it was a thing. And there were a couple people who had some questions and came up with things that I didn't check before. So I checked them, and here are the results. The first one was if you have a lot of links, and I have a pretty moderate amount, 108 links, and if you spam them, let's make sure these guys are in full position. The links will get by, and this is actually true. So if you watch, there we go, got one through, 2, 3, 4. So I'm getting a couple through. It's not too, it's not too great. It's unfortunate that is true. I'm just gonna finish killing off the rest of these guys. And that's the case with all 4, except for the stalker. You can, if you spam click, a lot of times you can get a couple of lings in. The Stalker Wallen is airtight. It doesn't matter how much you spam. If you have a Stalker in the proper position, nothing is getting through, ever. Alright. Another question people were asking was, or people were bringing up, people were asserting this thing. I said, well, you can attack the Zealot with more Zerglings with this wall, and that's a weakness of the wall. Which is true. You can attack the Zealot. You should be able to attack the Zealot with 2.5 Zerglings. You can see, let's get it. Let's grab another angle. It's a little bit better to see. Yeah. Okay. You can get the... Actually, so if it's in this location, you can only do it with 2. Only 2 Zerglings will be able to hit. And then over here, I think this is one of the ones where 3 can hit if you do it properly. Oh crap, I moved the Zealot. Well, you know, if you move the Zealot, if you don't have the Zealot on hold position, he's just gonna die. It sucks being able to control both units. So, in some positions you can make it so you can hit with 3. A lot of the times, if it's just like a straight up attack move command, it will actually, because right now 3 are hitting this Zealot. Most of the time, only 2 will be able to hit it. Some of the time, 3 Zerglings will be able to hit. Cool. Another thing people brought up is the certain weakness of this wall is that the pylon is in the front, and that makes it vulnerable to things like banelings and marauders and stuff like that. To this kind of a thing, I would, you know, if I saw a big baneling bus coming, I would do some reinforcing stuff. I wouldn't be like, there's a baneling bus coming. I think I'll just stick with this wall. If a baneling bus is coming in, you're probably going to want to do something about it. The thing that I do like about this wall, and I didn't mention before, is... What? Something that I didn't actually test. You can warp in on the ramp. I know that you can, because I've done it in games. For some reason, in the unit tester, that's not enabled right now. But you can, in Heart of the Swarm, warp in on ramps again. So you can do fancy stuff like, if you don't have any force fields, you can warp in on the ramp and trap some things. It also gives you power on the low ground, which is kind of cool. Again, very small things, but just interesting things to know about the Wallen. If something were to come in like a 6 pool, this wouldn't be a warp gate, but you can very easily wall in just like this. Or you can wall in like this if you need to, just to give you the time to get enough Zealots out so that you'll be okay while you're to not interrupt your mining and things like that. The other thing that you can do is if you see some aggression coming and you really need to hold it, you can do something like this. Or maybe actually, let's do a cyber core maybe. And say you want some backup power. Put your second pylon over here so that way if this gets knocked out, you'll be okay. And again, we're going to use the build grid. As you can see, there's two spaces where this zealot can be. Alright, it can be two main squares, like this square and this square, right? So it's in that box. So we're going to put it in the rear square. And as you may have already guessed, only one Zergling at a time can attack this zealot. So if you see something like that, I would absolutely be responding by shoring up the defenses and building some more buildings around here. You do, when you do this, lose that fluidity of the base, but obviously in a situation where you need to defend, you adapt. Cool. And that's it. And that's all there is. Hopefully that answers all of your questions. If you have any more, feel free to leave them in the comments, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys again soon.